Trump's tariffs crashed the market. A lot of people, including me, saw this as a ridiculous attempt to manipulate other countries to do Trump's bidding, but some analysts somehow see this as a good opportunity for Bitcoin. And even though Bitcoin is considered a hedge against centralization, against the dollar, against markets, it doesn't seem like it's doing so because it is following almost exactly the markets and macroeconomic signals. So let's look at all of these informations, all of these news that we have to cover today in today's video. Hello everyone, interesting weekend for all of us. I hope you guys were able to short the market or buy at the very bottom like I personally did. I am in a few positions myself on both ETH, Solana and Bitcoin. So it was okay for me because I was able to long these at the bottom. Of course, a lot of people got wrecked. We're going to see how many US dollars were liquidated in these past 24 hours. But as you are seeing right here at the screen, we had a red day, something we haven't seen like this since August 5th. If you remember, August 5th was a crazy day because of the Japanese yen and the interest rates that they had to increase, and that caused a flash crash just like this one. Politics are very much involved with economy and specifically, as I said before, with crypto, which shouldn't be the case, but for some reason, now that we have institutions, governments looking into crypto more than they were before in the last cycles, we have this huge parallel between stocks, the traditional market, and the crypto market itself. So you can see everything tanked. We saw Bitcoin touching $91,000. We saw Ethereum going all the way to the $2,100. Solana went back to 171. So it was a huge bloodbath. A lot of people lost a lot of money, especially people who were longing, very leveraged. So these got wrecked more than anyone else. We can see right here that $2.3 billion liquidated in the past 24 hours. Out of these, 83% were long positions. So around $1.9 billion were liquidated. And this is not only in crypto. We can see futures now are down a lot. Futures for the stock market. So we have everything down. The S&P down, NASDAQ, Nikkei, which is the Japanese market, coffee is up, lumber is up, oil, gasoline. So a lot of commodities are up, and the stocks itself, the indices, where they are down, they're melting. So the market is not very happy about this. We have now tariffs on Canada and Mexico. Trump also put tariffs on BRICS, and soon enough he will be putting tariffs on the EU as well. So I, for example, lived in Brazil, so I got affected twice because the Brazilian government already has tariffs on imported goods. So things that come from outside Brazil, they are already taxed almost 100% on top of the price itself of the product. And now we're going to pay even more because the US is going to impose tariffs on top of our products, and the Brazilian government already said that he's going to tax back on top of US things. So maybe, for example, an Apple Watch or an iPhone that comes from the United States is going to get to Brazil. We're going to have that 100% import tax on top of it, then most likely another tax because it is an American product, and we're going to tax even more the American products themselves. So it is getting to a crazy situation. We saw the Mexican peso dropping, we saw the Canadian dollar dropping by a lot, and there's going to be a lot of pain across North America, not only for Americans, but also for Canadians and Mexicans, because a lot of things that the US consumes comes from these countries, comes from abroad. Trump says Americans are very independent, the country doesn't need anything else from any other people, but that is not actually how that works. So we should see some pain on a global scale pretty much, unless you live in Africa or Southeast Asia or maybe even Northern Europe. You're not going to interact a lot with the dollar, so you most likely won't see price changes. Maybe you will because these other countries most likely interact with your country. So China, BRICS countries, EU, most likely your country does have something to do with these, and most likely they will suffer in a third-party way. So that being said, I took a risk right here and I opened a long for Solana at $200 call for February 14th. So let's see how it goes. You can see that now things are not looking very good right here, but Solana could still be above that price by February 14th. Who knows? Now it is February 3rd. We should see how these prices are going to go. I hope I'm able to make that money as well. Regarding the copy trading, we are at 0.24% on the 0DT strategy. On the Phoenix one, we still haven't traded for February, but we are 22.23% for this year. This is the projected number. So far, since the strategy started, which was in May 2023, we are up 37, almost 38%. So even throughout this crash, if you had your money right here, you wouldn't have lost anything. Most likely just a little percentage. I see a little drop right here, but we are still positive in the long run. So you would have still been holding your capital. If you're holding Bitcoin or if you're holding any other coin right now, you would have been a little bit on the red if you had bought it early this year. So the Bitcoin dominance yesterday got to a 64.31, a number that we haven't seen for years now. We briefly touched yesterday and now we are at 61%, a little bit closer to what we saw in November before that huge drop that we saw for that little rally we had between altcoins. So now with 61% Bitcoin dominance, we're going to see altcoins slow down a lot, mainly because everyone is scared. And you can see right here that we are at a fear. Finally, we are fearful after a huge event like yesterday. But if you look at August 5th right here, this is when we saw that huge drop in price. See, this is the candle and you can see the volume right here, the huge volume. And something like that happened yesterday, very similar, not as much volume because we drained the market. The market was drained by the time it reached $92,000, $91,000 for Bitcoin. But you can see that it was a very similar. And then we had a little bit of a sideways before picking up the pace right here. So right now, most likely we are going to see some sideways action for the future. Who knows how long that's going to take. But again, that is most likely what's going to be happening. We will try to lower the RSI right here a little bit so we can have more momentum to jump up in price. That being said, we are very well positioned in the liquidation heat map. I don't know if the market reacted very fast, but this should have been very skewed towards one side. I think that was yesterday, last night, when this crash happened. Most like these longs were wiped out. There was no longs right here. And now it seems that it kind of balanced or is looking to balance up already. So that could be a good thing, that the market's trying to stabilize as fast as it can. This is why we're going back so fast back to the 100K. Who knows if you're going to reach that today or maybe tomorrow, but we touched the 91 and now we're around 95K on Bitcoin. Ethereum is also going back up after touching 2100. But you can see right here, we got wiped and this got all the way to the 91, $130. We took out everything that we had to take, not only once, but twice, because we went back for the 92,800 here. But now it seems that we're gonna go back up towards the 100,000 here. If we flip this to Ethereum, you can see that we also wiped out everything here. Clean. Look at the size of this candle right here. And we actually wiped some shorts right here on this range, which is crazy that some people were still shorting after this huge fall right here. So we wiped some shorts on this side. And now we have strong places, magnets here, both at the top and at the bottom. So for Ethereum, we don't really know what the prices could be, because at the end of the day, Ethereum is kind of disappointing everyone. If you were an Ethereum maxi, everyone was saying 5K Ethereum last year, that by this time this year, Ethereum will be a 5K. And now guess what? We're half of what we predicted. So that is a huge disappointment towards Ethereum itself. So here is a tweet from Trump going back to the tariffs. He has implemented the 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada, 10% on energy, and 10% additionally on China. He, of course, puts in the threat of illegal aliens and deadly drugs being smuggled into their country. Not the biggest points he's making right here. There's a lot of videos, again, not getting political, of people not happy with the issue, people not happy with everything that is affecting the American as the citizen. So far, not so good for crypto and not so good for Donald Trump in terms of what he's doing to make the country a better place. Again, not here to discuss politics. But if we go to articles right now, a few people with a very distorted idea, they say that this could bring the price of Bitcoin higher. Now, if you read through this article right here, we have a tweet, a quote tweet right here, and you can pause and read it yourself. But basically what it says is that this will strengthen the dollar and crash every other coin, mainly because these tariffs will be applied globally and will try to push the dollar even higher. And what will happen to these other countries that had their currency crashed? They're going to look for other assets of value to buy instead of holding their fiat currencies. So that could be Bitcoin. But again, we are seeing back to back, the Bitcoin is following market crashes. So if the market crash, this is not holding value, it's going down with it. So again, crypto as a whole being a little bit disappointing for people who were thinking that they would be outside of the chaos happening in the world. So we do see a strengthening in the dollar for the short term, but again, is this going to be doable and feasible for the long future? I personally don't know. So how do you believe these tariffs will affect the global economy and specifically crypto itself? So last week I've made a little game asking you by Friday what the price will be for Bitcoin. On Friday I wasn't able to post. I posted on Saturday, and at that time Bitcoin was around 104,000. So I got closer than, for example, Crypto Ricardo that was saying 101,000. But again, at the end of the day, everyone got kind of screwed on that bet. So now, if you want to guess, again, let's do this game one more time. What is the price that you see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana by Friday when the video comes out? So I personally see Bitcoin back at $100,000. So that is flat, 100K flat. On Ethereum, maybe 2,800. And for Solana, $220. So these are my three numbers. Comment down below what are your numbers for Friday. And thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I'll catch you guys on Wednesday for another one. Peace.